It's Thursday, March 9th, 2023. Let's talk about the news. From the Associated Press, Altria invests $2.75 billion in rival startup Enjoy after Juul exit. Altria, the parent company of Marlboro, among other nicotine-laden products, has announced a new investment in e-cigarette startup Enjoy, which will give Altria ownership over the company's e-vapor product catalog. This comes in the wake of a failed investment in previously popular e-cigarette company Juul, which reportedly led to a loss of about $13 billion for Altria as lawsuits against the brand piled up, though Altria will gain some heated tobacco-related intellectual property when it trades the remainder of its minority stake back to Juul. This new acquisition parallels another recent deal with Japan Tobacco meant to help Altria bring heat-not-burn cigarettes to the U.S. market, which usually means vape-like products that utilize tobacco in purportedly less harmful ways than a typical cigarette, alongside the usual dose of addictive nicotine. From the Washington Post, deadly cyclone Freddy has become Earth's longest-lived tropical storm. A storm system that originated in the Indian Ocean the first week of February has become the longest-lasting tropical storm on record. Cyclone Freddy is currently menacing Mozambique and has rapidly re-intensified 6 times, the wind speed increasing by 35 miles per hour or more over a 24-hour period. No Southern Hemisphere storm on record before Freddy has gone through this intensification process more than 3 times, and only 3 Northern Hemisphere storms have done so 4 times. So this is a fairly unique situation, though it's worth noting that for part of its life it was a tropical depression, not a cyclone, which means it was a weaker storm system than would usually warrant naming, but maintained its earlier name just in case it was brought back to life, which turns out to have been a prudent consideration in this instance. And from Deutsche Welle, dozens arrested during foreign agent law protest in Georgia. Protests in Georgia, a country just northeast of Turkey and on Russia's southwestern border, have led to clashes between police forces and protesters who hit the streets to show their opposition to a piece of draft legislation backed by a majority of lawmakers that would allow the government to lock up anyone who is critical of them or anything they might do. This foreign agent law is similar to a law used in Russia to lock up oppositional candidates and imprison anyone who speaks out against government actions as basically being in the pocket of foreign interests, and those who oppose it are saying, first, it would destroy the country's ability to ever join the European Union, a concern that was shown to be warranted by the EU's foreign policy chief when he called this draft a, quote, very bad development, end quote, and second, that it would essentially entrench the government's power, as those in charge would be able to lock up anyone they don't like, citing this law as a rationale. 66 people have been arrested during these protests thus far, and police deployed tear gas and water cannons against protesters, who were, in some cases, throwing stones and petrol bombs in response. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.